Hey there everyone, I hope you're all doing well and you're happy and healthy wherever you are in the world. Okay, so today I'm doing a video that was requested by a client about how I got into an abundance mentality from being in a pretty low place in my life just before I actually started doing this full time. It was really not the best time in my life and I needed to decide to lie down and die or pull myself out of it. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some of the things that I did religiously, persistently, just out of pure faith, because I didn't actually have an option. Okay, and I thought, well, I can try all of these manifestation things, or I can try a couple of different things and see how they work out for me. If they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. But I've got nothing to lose and I've got everything to gain. All right, so that's what happened for me quite a while back. It's been the results of it have been the reason why I've done a lot of the videos that I've done. The one about please show me how, taking negativity baths, all the things that I'm going to mention in this video now. So I've done 10 things that you can do that worked for me. Okay, I stress that it worked for me. It doesn't work for everybody. We all have different things that work for ourselves. It depends on your belief system. It depends on your upbringing. It depends on your programming, how much you were told you don't have the right education. Our family have never been wealthy people. You don't deserve to be rich. It only happens for other people. I'm not good enough. All the things that are aligned with I'm not good enough and derivatives of that are your worst enemy. Okay, but I'm going to tell you what worked for me, and I'm going to tell you how you can apply some of these things and see if they work for you. Okay, so 10 things. My first thing here was Shreem Brzee. Okay, that might sound like complete nonsense to a lot of you, but this was something that really worked for me. It was something that I found through a very well-known gentleman on YouTube and all over the place. His name is Dr. Pillai. He's an Indian gentleman who has applied so many different principles and done so many different types of meditation. He puts out videos all the time. It's not necessarily everybody's cup of tea, but he just came to me at the right place at the right time. And I listened to a lot of his things. That's where I learned a lot about different types of family karma and the fact that your family karma and that programming can actually put you in the wrong mindset, like little cliches that we always hear. Our family have never been rich people. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money goes like water. Money actually does go like water because it's meant to flow in and flow out. All right, and you have different types of karma, which is something I was taught by him as well. You have the family karma, you have different types of family karma, like money karma, health karma, where we believe that we are all destined to have cancer because cancer runs in our family. That's not necessarily true. That is something that is done or implanted into us through the power of suggestion. Okay, because somebody said it and because you've heard your friends and family say it over and over and over, and those are people that you trust, subconsciously you automatically believe what they say. If your grandmother and grandfather always said, oh, you know, cancer runs in our family, it wouldn't even be something that you question if you're a small child. You accept the truth that cancer runs in our family. It's not necessarily truth, okay? Just like we will never be rich people. Money doesn't grow on trees. Those people are rich and we are poor. We'll never be the same, okay? Rich people are bad. These are all things that have been programming that are so negative, and please don't hold any grudges for the people from our previous generations, because when they were saying these things, they truly believed them, okay? They were not doing it to deliberately implant you. I see so many things with comments and talks with young people now being convinced that their parents are narcissistic because they did these things to them and they've programmed them and all kinds of things. And not all parents are saints by any means, but those kind of things, the family karma and stuff was completely done innocently. Those were their belief systems of that time. And I think it's exceptionally toxic and disgusting that young people are being programmed by other people to think that their parents are narcissistic, twisted people. It really is not the truth, okay? Yes, there are narcissistic, twisted parents out there. Don't get me wrong, I'm not ignorant. But to tell somebody that that is all that person's fault. It just negates the blame. It puts it on someone else, and it certainly doesn't solve your problem. Okay, so that's something that's probably for another whole video. But that's the kind of thing we need to get over, and we need to be in complete forgiveness for that and say they didn't know any better than to tell us that, because that was their programming. But we are in a position now to deprogram ourselves and to say, well, what is the truth really? Go and research it, find out, test it yourself. There are certain things that do not run in your family, and it's a fact, and they didn't have those facts then. A lot of the people in previous generations, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years ago, didn't have access to the research we have today. They didn't know that certain things are actually not hereditary. And it was almost like folklore that certain things were passed on. Okay, so make sure of your facts, see what really does affect you, and remember that through the power of suggestion, those words, that sits in your subconscious, and what sits in the subconscious can manifest physically. So through your own thoughts and belief systems, those things can actually physically manifest into your life. But it's not necessarily because it's hereditary. It's through belief systems, and you can break those belief systems. The minute you don't believe it anymore, you'll often find that healing takes place. Okay, so that was a bit of a digression on my part, but I think that obviously was important, and I needed to say it today. So the first thing, getting back to Dr. Pillai, is he taught me this mantra, okay? Not personally, but he put out a video, many videos on it. And a mantra is something that you repeat over and over that can basically reprogram you, okay? And I always talk ad nauseum about how sound is profoundly healing and very powerful, okay? We know that certain frequencies can change certain things. They can even change certain things in our biology. There's a frequency that can kill cancer cells, but people don't talk about it much. I wonder why that is. All right, so Shreem Brzee is actually a frequency that can change chemicals in your brain to an abundance mindset. It can remove the negative mindset of lack, okay? It was something that he developed or was divinely guided to do. I'm sure you've all heard of the mantra saying, where you have to say Om, or you do Om Name Patre Ha. I think I've got it right. There are so many different ones. Shreem Brzee is specifically for abundance, okay? So what you will do is you will literally chant while you're walking around. You can do it in your head, you can do it out loud, but you do it as much as you can, constantly. If your mind is hearing that all the time, there are so many things going up around in the subconscious that it's going to have a profound effect. And I found that it is exceptionally beneficial. There are so many people, you can look it up on YouTube. There are people from Eastern Europe, from India, African Americans, you name it. Everybody's tried this and it's worked for them. And when you're focusing on one particular thing and you want to achieve one goal, you focus on that goal, you have a visualization of it, and you chant Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, and you just chant it to yourself all the time. Okay, give it a try. They say that doing it 108 times is good. Maybe repeating that a couple of times. For everything that I mentioned here, I'm going to leave a link below if I've made a video of it, or if I can link you to a video of it. So I will put a link to Shreem Brzee at the bottom that Dr. Pillai does. I'll put a link of where he explains about it, and I'll put a link of a recording of him saying Shreem Brzee 108 times. That's the way that I found it easy to do. I would play it in the car, and I'd have him saying Shreem Brzee. He also obviously does it at the right frequency. You know, he's doing it, the notes at the right octave, so to speak. And so he's using the right tones that are the most effective, because it's a tone and a sound that your subconscious and your brain is picking up on. You're causing a resonance in your head, and you'll actually realize that after a while, if you sit and chant Shreem Brzee, you'll feel it almost like when you do a meditation and you feel a vibration in your head. And I sound crazy, I know, but try it, please. You eventually get that chant and that resonance going in your mind, and then you start to understand, hey, you know what, this is actually almost like reverberating in my skull, and I can understand how this has the potential to change some kind of chemical composition going on in there, or have some kind of effect, because there's a resonance happening there. Okay, so I will link that below. All right, the next thing I did was I cleaned. Okay, I cleaned on a Friday because that was apparently one of the best days for you to do that kind of thing. I swept and I mopped, and I mopped with lemon. I worked on anything that kind of attracted abundance. Lemons are fantastic. Anything that attracted abundance and purged negativity. Those are the two things you want to get rid of. You want to get rid of, sorry, that you want to work on. You want to purge negativity, you want to attract abundance. So I used to put lemon or lemon essential oils into the water that I mopped with. I used lavender and lemon, just a little bit, because obviously oils can make the floor oily. But I would mop and rhythmically mop, and I'd say Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, and I'd get myself into a rhythm. If I lay in the bath, I'd say Shreem Brzee. I'd constantly do it, and I'd focus on the things that I want to achieve. I'd focus on getting my business off the ground, helping other people, being effective in what I do, all the things that were in alignment with me being a good intuitive reader and helping others. Okay, and obviously as a result, good things coming back to me. So those were one of the things. Cleaning's a big thing. I haven't done anything to do with that in terms of a video, but I'll get to the negativity and the cleaning and stuff a little bit further down. The third thing I did was, there's a gentleman on YouTube called Ducey. I don't really watch his videos anymore because he kind of has deviated from the initial thing that I picked up on. And I do believe you see the right things at the right time. But he developed a meditation that got him out of his funk and out of having nothing in his life to where he is hugely successful today. He's living on some island, I think he's living in Hawaii or something, but he's living a great life. He's got a beautiful home, he's got a happy family, everything's great for him, and it was never always like that. Okay, but he came up with like a mantra that he would repeat, and it says, I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me in increasing quantities through many different sources on a continuous basis. I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. Money flows to me freely, endlessly, and in avalanches of abundance. I am forever conscious of my true worth. I give my talents with love, and I am wonderfully blessed financially. It is amazing. And you literally repeat this over and over. And by saying it over and over, and again, you can think I'm crazy, these are the things that work. Just like the negative things were repeated to you from the time you were a child and it became a belief system, so can the positive things become a belief system. And the things he says in here are key. Okay, I am so happy and grateful. Gratitude is key to getting abundance. I literally believe that it's what's equivalent to a scientific equation, but spiritually, gratitude is literally equal to abundance. The more we send out, and it has to be from the heart, it's got to be that gratitude where you feel like falling to your knees and saying thank you, thank you, thank you for something that has just been amazing in your life. You have to have that energetic frequency coming from your body. You've got to be pushing that gratitude out of your heart, and you've got to say thank you. Thank you for what I have now. I say thank you for the clients that I have, that they are such wonderful people. I'm so blessed to be connected to the people I'm connected to. I'm so blessed that I do give my talents with love, and I make sure I'm always doing it with love and integrity, and I'm wonderfully blessed in return. Okay, so he's got key things he's saying here. So every word he says is important and imperative. I'm so happy and grateful. That's the first place to start, is with the gratitude that money comes to me in increasing quantities through many different sources on a continuous basis. Three very important things. Okay, I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind, because your subconscious is the key. And your subconscious doesn't pick up on the limiting belief systems always that your conscious mind has, or what's happening in your physical 3D. What's happening, or is what potential there is in your subconscious mind is not the same as what your physical experience is right now. Okay? I have the right to be rich, happy, and successful. You absolutely do. And like I said, we've always had this mindset that rich people are bad, and there are a lot of bad rich people in the world. But how do we counteract that? We counteract it by becoming abundant ourselves, by becoming abundant and doing that with integrity, and in turn empowering others, helping them to become abundant so that they can be rich good people out there, and we can outweigh it. If we all become abundant and successful, then we have the power they have, but we can use it differently. So it's almost our obligation to be powerful and successful. And we also get, we've been programmed to think that being powerful is bad too. No. You need to be powerful. It's important to be powerful. It's imperative to be powerful, because when you don't have the power, someone has power over you. So you have to have that power. You need to be rich, happy, and successful, because that's how you help others to be rich, happy, and successful. Okay, and that's how we can fight negative things where rich, happy, and successful people, I can guarantee you they're not happy, have power over you, and where you feel like you're powerless and you're just at the mercy of others. That's not true. That's something we've been programmed to believe. Okay. Money flows to me freely, so you don't have blocks, endlessly, and in avalanches of abundance. Okay, you have to visualize these things when you're talking about them. I'm forever conscious of my true worth. That's something that we're not very good at, okay? And we're not very good at our being aware of our true worth and giving ourselves self-confidence, self-love, self-healing, self-actualization. All right, those things are very, very important. And we also need to be able to stand up for ourselves and be strong. And if we have those things, that's when that comes in. Okay. I give my talents with love. You do something you love. Okay, that's very important as well. Not all of us are fortunate to do things that we love, but find what your talent is. Give it with love, and you will be wonderfully blessed financially. That's what he says. It is amazing. Again, it's putting you into that place of, I'm in awe of how blessed I am. I am grateful. Okay, I'll link Jake Ducey below. Okay, manifestation tools. So that is something that I'll also link below. I've done videos on this before. This is, I've posted it recently, the abundance box that I showed you how to make, the abundance grid that I showed you how to make. It doesn't cost any money to do these things. Use things that you find around the house. Okay, if you've got nothing, you use what you've got. If you've got a quarter instead of a $200 note, I don't even know if you get $200 notes, excuse me, but whatever you've got, okay, what you've got will work. And your intention is everything. But I'm going to link those below. So use things like abundance boxes, the abundance grids, just getting yourself into an abundance mindset. If there are manifestation tools you can look up on YouTube, you can Google, try them, see what works for you. Okay. Cleaning clutter and keeping things clean. I actually watched a young girl the other day who has been battling with living in clutter and filth her whole life. All right, she has a family now, she has children, and the place gets epically out of hand. But she has found a way to manage it, and she actually does videos where she says, I'm not ashamed to show you what mess I'm in, because I know it happens to other people, and this is how I tackle it. This is how I do it so that I don't feel overwhelmed. She makes lists of what she needs to do, what she needs to sort out. I'll link her video below. I'll find it for you if some of you are secretly battling with something like that, because clutter is your worst enemy. Okay, your environment around you is a direct reflection of what's going on inside here. What's going on in your mind is reflected around you. If you tidy up and you clean up, your mind immediately feels clearer. Okay, so cleaning the clutter, keeping things clean and tidy is very important, because then you can think clearly, then things look good, they're shiny, they're not dusty. It sounds trivial, but it's actually really not. Okay, if you battle to keep a clear mind and you don't have high blood pressure, please, I emphasize that, try to burn some rosemary, or to sniff some rosemary essential oils, or to incorporate rosemary in your food. Rosemary is fantastic for studying and for clearing our minds when we feel like our minds are stuffed full of cotton wool. Okay, so if you're struggling with that, lavender and rosemary are fantastic to use together, and they're readily available. They're the two most common herbs out there. The lavender brings calm, and the rosemary brings clarity. All right, rosemary is also very good for abundance attraction. It's associated with wealth. All right, so what else we got? Negativity baths and showers. This is important as well, to bath in salt and essential oils and stuff, not only to get you into a relaxed mindset, not only to make time for you to maybe do things like Shreem Brzee, and imagine while you're having a shower that all the negativity is washing away from you, all the poor energy or the lack energy is being washed off and it's being replaced with abundance energy. These are the kinds of things you can do. All right, I will link below because I've already done a video on how to take a negativity bath and a negativity shower. These are great to do at full moon and new moon as well. New moon especially is like wiping a slate clean, and you want things to grow after that. And as the moon grows, so your abundance can grow. All right, you can do energy sessions at new moon or at full moon. Full moon's fantastic, it's most powerful, but don't underestimate new moon, because new moon is that clean slate. I wipe away all negativity, and as that little sliver of moon develops and starts growing, so my wealth and abundance is going to grow. So my wealth mindset is going to grow. Okay, what we got next? Grounding. I think grounding is really important, and you don't have to go through a whole mission to ground. All you do is, sometimes all you have to do is take your shoes off, go and walk out in the garden, walk on the ground. Sometimes just go sit on the ground. If you're feeling really all over the place and your energy is messed up and you feel unbalanced, you will know that you are feeling unbalanced because you'll be physically unbalanced. Okay, when we start doing silly things like we walk down the passage and we bump into the wall because we're kind of stumbling to the side, or we're chopping vegetables for dinner and we accidentally cut ourselves, we're off balance, we're not focused, we're not feeling centered in the way that we should. We need to be grounded, we need to get it together. Okay, so go and sit on the ground, literally just sit outside and listen to the birds. That also is a type of meditation. You don't need to be sitting like this with your eyes closed. That's a type of meditation. Even if you go and you lie down on the ground, just lie down on the ground and imagine that all the negativity is seeping into the ground. Okay, let yourself lie there for a while. You'll actually find that it stretches your back out, it stretches the muscles out. You feel really good if you just lie on the flat grass outside. Okay, grounding is good. It pulls all that negative energy out. It balances you, and you need to be balanced to be able to attract wealth and abundance. Okay, so then the next thing was changing your words. This is very important. Okay, so if you kept saying to yourself, this is just an example that I've picked up. You say a certain sentence to yourself, all right, and it's negative. You need to catch yourself and say, hey, that's a very negative thing to be saying. How can I shuffle that around or say something different? I personally had to practice this. I had to practice it in conversation, stop myself and actually sit and shuffle the words around and say, how can I say that differently and change it into something positive? It was difficult for me. Okay, everyone thinks, oh, Shreem's all positive and love and light and never has a negative thing to say. Not true. Okay, and I didn't get like this automatically. I was in a very bad place and I was very negative at certain times in my life. So what I would do, for instance, is I've got an example here of how am I going to pay my bills? Okay, that's putting a huge question out there, and it's putting a negative one that's saying, I'm going to have anxiety now. All right, terrible idea, terrible idea. Change that to, I'm open to abundance and possibilities of how I can do this, which brings me to my next tool that really helped me, and I've done a video for this as well. I learned by accident that the 4 words, please show me how, were the magic words to ask your guides and guardians to show you how to do something, to show you how to achieve things. Instead of saying, how am I going to pay my bills this month? Say, please show me how I can pay my bills this month and meet that deadline. All right. Also, in conjunction with this, I'll put the please show me how video below, but those are 4 magic words to say, please show me how, because you're saying to Spirit, please show me how to do this. But you're also saying, I'm willing to take the guidance from you. I want you to show me how, but saying, show me how I can apply myself to do this. When I asked, please show me how I can afford this or get myself into this position or make my business a success, I was shown how to do it. People would come to me, opportunities would come to me, but I still had to put in the work. So also don't just say, think you're going to say, please show me how, and it's going to land in your lap. You will be given the work, you'll be given the contract, you'll be given the jobs, whatever it is that you're asking for will present themselves, and it's up to you to take action. That's how spirit and physical 3D, which is us, work together effectively. You get shown how, but they say, this is how you do it, and you've got to go and do it. Okay, it doesn't fall in your lap. You don't get to lie back and say, oh, poor me, nothing ever happens for me, I've always been poor. If that's the mindset you want to have, then that is your choice, okay? But you do have a choice to change it and to move towards abundance, and to every day make a different choice in how you live, in how your belief systems are, to get rid of those negative things that you keep saying to yourself, to try to keep the faith when it doesn't work the first time or the second time or the third time, to have the patience to find the things that work for you. And if you ask Spirit to present an opportunity and someone offers you a job and you don't take the job because, you know what, I don't really want that job. You don't know if that job's going to help you to meet somebody else that's going to open other doors for you. You don't know if it's a test from the universe to say, okay, I want to see if I give him or her this job. And are they going to actually say, I am so happy and grateful for this job. I'm so happy and grateful that I have now some money coming in opposed to not having any money coming in. Or am I going to say, I don't want that job. And then 5 minutes later lie on the couch and say, I'm so poor, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. I'm not meant to be rich, poor me. If that's where you want to be there by all means. Don't smear it off on other people. Okay, and I'm quite harsh when it comes to that, because I see it happen all the time, and other people get people into negative mindsets. And you know that old classic saying that misery loves company. That's exactly it. Do something about it. Get yourself into a different mindset, and the more you shift your mindset, the more the things around you will shift. I'll promise you that. Okay, just try and apply some of these tools and you will see some shifts in your life. Okay, so I will add the one called please show me how. That's imperative. Also, a key phrase to use with everything you do, says, please show me what is possible. Speak to your guides and your guardians and say, I don't know where to turn now. Please show me what is possible. It is so important that we remember that we are this tiny speck living on this tiny planet in this enormous universe, that, you know, outside of our physical selves, there is just an expanse of unlimited possibilities. We could never fathom of or get into our consciousness the millions of different things that are possible in every single situation. So take it out of your hands to some degree and say to Spirit, please show me what is possible. And I always use the example that if you had to sit at a coffee shop and see two people smash into each other with a car, you'd say, oh, okay, three things are possible here. First of all, the driver's probably not insured. If the driver is insured, then this and that will happen. If the driver's not insured, then that and that will happen. Those are the options. Because we think we're so clever, we've been living here for 40, 50, 60 years, whatever it is, and we're all knowing. Okay? Not even close. What you know is a drop in the ocean in comparison to what is possible. And we need to put our pride in our pockets and ask Spirit what's possible. What's possible is that some really rich person could be sitting there, someone who's happy and wealthy and abundant, and say, the girl's crying because she can't afford the insurance. I'll pay it for you. That's a possibility. It's totally possible. But you've decided these are the options because I know everything. Okay, let's not be presumptuous. Let's not be egotistical when it comes to what we think our options are. Okay, we need to ask Spirit what is possible. And when you actually ask that, you'll be blown away. All right, I do elaborate a little bit more on that also in the Please Show Me How video. So remember, please show me how and show me what is possible. All right, the last thing is negativity release. This is something where you can literally just every new moon and every full moon write down certain things that you want to release. I want to release a negative mindset. I want to release the resistance or the blocks to me being grateful. I want to release resentment that I have for people who are wealthy and rather embrace this myself. I want to release any old anger, like I said, resentment, anything, negativity, blocks and obstacles to me being abundant. Write these things down, and at new moon or full moon, you can do an energy session like the ones that I do, or you can just take that piece of paper you've written it on and burn it and let it burn up into the ether and say, I release that. There we go, heaven or angels or whatever you believe in, please take care of that because it's not mine anymore. And consistently look at yourself every day and say, what am I doing that is blocking me? What negative thoughts am I having around this? And then write down, I want to release the fact that I always think I don't deserve abundance. I want to release the negative way that I speak to myself and others about money. I want to release the fear I feel every time I give some money away. All right, a good thing to do as well, if you are battling to have faith that there's more where that comes from, when you do have your last couple of coins in your wallet, give it to somebody who's homeless. Give it to the cashier and say, there we go, keep the change. And literally releasing that from your hand and from your mind and saying, I've just given my last few cents away, can be really frightening, and we can tend to hold on to it. But like I said earlier, money is like water. It needs to flow, and we need to release it for us to be able to get more. Okay? So give those last few pennies away and say, that's okay, I can give it away because there's more where that came from. I will be blessed with more because I'm sharing. And I promise you, you will be blessed with more. The minute you have that faith that more is going to come, and that's your belief system around money, more will come. Because that's how it actually works. We've been programmed to think otherwise. Especially if you give it with a good heart. You don't resentfully give the homeless man your last few pennies and think, oh my gosh, did I have to do that? You say, okay, I'm giving this away now. I have the faith that it's going to come back to me tenfold. And you lovingly give that to that person and say, that's okay, I will get more where that came from. And you will. Okay. All right, that is it. I will link everything down below. I sincerely hope that something, even if one of these things help you and get you on the path to being more abundant. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a millionaire, but I'm definitely a work in progress, and I'm definitely making progress. And I hope that the same is true for you. Okay, I'll chat to you again soon. Lots of love to all of you. Bye for now.